Hey guys, this property makes 5 times the return by doing small strategic changes that you can do. It's actually a property of somebody from Mastery. So let's go inside. We're going to show you exactly how it's done. Hey guys, this is Chuck Bryda and we are in Niles. Beautiful property, I mean a perfect property for Niles. So Chuck, what's the story on this?
Well, this is a family property that I've already owned, so it's not an acquisition story. It's more of a what can you do to maximize value.
Okay, so what are we doing with it? Because there's a basic principle in Mastery we talk about, which is KBB, right? Kitchen, bedroom, and bath. Right now, as this property stands, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, which is very typical for Niles, right? Now, what are you doing with it and where are you strategically spending money?
So I'm making it into a 4-2, and I'm utilizing the unfinished basement to be able to put in a full bath and also a legal bedroom and a family room to increase the value.
As a 3-1, completely fixed up, what is this property worth?
Probably $350.
$350. I was thinking actually you were being conservative. I thought about $380.
Okay.
But if we go to a 4-2, right? So we're adding one bedroom downstairs and a bath. What does the back end value become?
The solds right now look to be $490.
$490. So the point is, guys, by making a few small strategic changes, not by going up a second floor, not by adding square footage outside, because that's very expensive, right? By doing small strategic changes, you're increasing the value on this property by almost $100,000. Now, to do these 2 changes, right? How much is it going to cost you?
$61,000.
Okay, total of $61,000.
Yes.
But for additional bedroom and bath, what's the cost?
Probably 15 to 20.
15 to 20, right? So see, $40,000 you're going to spend in the house anyways to bring it up to par. Now, by spending an additional 20, you raise the value by $100,000. That's 5 times the return on your $20,000 investment, correct?
Correct.
So now, before you came to Mastery, was this kind of the way you were thinking? What was your thought process? How has it changed now?
Well, I've done other properties as far as seller financing, subject to, all kinds of different things. But I like this model as far as taking something and basically where is as is, and then what can I do to add a half bath? Right. What can I do to maybe squeeze another bedroom in? So this was a prime candidate to be able to use this unfinished space and then be able to put in the extra features.
Got it. And the money, you borrowed this from private money lender?
Yes.
Okay, so this was a loan from Miss Mary.
Right.
Right? So you took a small loan
to
be able to rehab and basically upgrade the property.
Exactly.
And so let's kind of talk through some of the changes, right? Okay. We're in the, basically the living room, family room, whatever you want to call it here, right? What are you doing here?
Nothing here. I just put in some lights.
Just some candle lights. Just to kind of give it an upgrade.
Exactly.
Paint. And what are you doing with the carpet?
Probably refinish the hardwood floor.
Just refinish. So this was something that when I walked in, you were thinking, well, I can put LVP throughout.
Right.
Because the kitchen needs LVP.
Right.
But our point always is that in an area like this, right? This is Niles. area, people love the hardwood. And I bet you the hardwood is the way your grandma probably got it the day the house was built.
Probably.
Right? Because at that time, that was your base flooring. And then people who had carpet, that means they could afford more. Right? Today, we're going backwards. We want to go back to hardwoods. So there's no reason to cover up your hardwoods, beautiful hardwoods, right? So I would show that because that becomes a cool feature, brings nostalgia back, right? With the bedrooms, the 3 bedrooms that you have, any major changes?
As is.
As is, that's it.
Exactly.
Right? And this is something I strategically think about. If you have a just a regular rental, generally you're not going to put a fan with a light because the fan can go out. But if you're going to use this as a midterm, right, midterm rental, then I would put a fan and a light. Why? Because sometimes if it's a little bit too warm, people can just hit the fan and boom, people are not going to complain. Otherwise, you get those small complaints that will lead to a bad review. So you think about that strategically a little bit differently. Now, with the kitchen, right, you're opening that up a little bit. As is, whereas you're not making big changes, but I was suggesting maybe take the soffits out to give it a bigger appeal. Okay. What do you think about that idea?
That's a good idea. And then also I'm widening the footprint just a little bit to be able to put in the dishwasher, which is pretty much mandatory now.
Got it. That's a big deal. Also, tenants will like it.
Right.
What sort of rents are we talking about on the back end for a 4.2?
Well, when I did my initial review, I was thinking $2,400 as a low ball. Right now, they're renting for about $3,000.
About 3,000, right? So think
Long-term
about
rent.
long-term rent. So guys, this is the beauty of it. His cost in it is nothing because he got the family from the property from the family. His $60,000 he borrowed just to do some of the rehabs. He can literally put a $250,000 loan on it, cash out in his pocket $180,000. Even
and keep the property.
And keep the property and have $1,200 a month in rental
Cash
income,
flow.
right? Just with the long-term rental. Now you take it to a midterm, now you talk about $2,500, $3,500, if not $4,000, right? I have a property down the street where every month it makes me about $35,000 to $4,000 a month net, right?
Okay.
So that's another possibility. So the goal of real estate is not how I do a lot of work to make money. The goal of real estate is how am I strategic, how little that I do to make an extraordinary return. So now let's talk about the basement.
Okay.
Right? In the basement, there are some strategic things you're doing. Right? So walk me through that a little bit. So first, let's talk about the bedroom you're adding.
Okay.
To have a bedroom in the basement, you need egress.
True.
Right? So you need some sort of a egress window, meaning in case of a fire or something, there's a second fire escape. Just think about it from that perspective. That sometimes for people is, oh my God, it's so expensive.
It's $5,000 or $6,000.
$5,000 or $6,000, right? It's relatively not that expensive.
Right.
Then to add the bathroom, now you did all new plumbing anyways.
Right.
I think you did a little bit overdid it.
I did.
But you felt
Peace
that
of
was
mind.
peace of mind, right? Because the plumbing here is, what, 50 years old, 60 years old now, right?
You got cast iron, you've got galvanized.
Sure.
And I had some leaks going on, so just blow it all out, make it.
And so it's good for another 50 years, right?
Exactly.
You'll probably see the next generation now,
Right.
right? I mean,
Right.
that's just how it is. So there you spend some money, you upgraded electrical.
Right.
So plumbing is new, electrical is new. You added a bathroom in the middle, kind of
Right.
strategically. What was the thought process with that?
So I added the fourth bedroom and one bath. And strategically, I wanted to put it in the middle and eliminate all of the plumbing that was along the wall. So
Okay.
that was important to redo all the plumbing.
Okay, got it. So it's simple again. That's a simple rehab, and then you're adding an additional room over there. I was saying kind of make it like a rec room, an extra family room, because this is
Exactly.
kind of the living room. You can't do a whole lot with this space.
Right, right.
So that becomes additional room. You could throw in maybe a couple couches, maybe a couple maybe a pool table or two, and especially for a midterm. That's a big plus because when you do the pictures, guess what happens? You see that, you're like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. You don't get that in Niles, right? It's impossible to find somebody who wants a 3-month rental. It's impossible to find that, but a house like this will feature really, really well. So Chuck, generally for a lot of people would be, oh my God, this is a great property, I can sell this, right? As is, you can sell it, make $300,000, right? I mean, that would be the most expedient way to go, and that's that. But strategically now you're keeping it, and this property will help you grow. So what's the thought process for you?
Well, the whole thing is building wealth.
Okay.
And if you keep the long-term rentals, you can build wealth. And I can also always mortgage this. I can also get a line of credit on it. There's a lot of exit strategies to be able to do, to be able to get money out, plus keep it forever and get cash flow.
And guys, this is what is important, right? In this case, Chuck was fortunate, unfortunate. Clearly, I mean, this is a property, people get older, pass away. And a lot of times the average person would just sell the property. Say, oh my God, I got an injection for $300,000. Great, no problem. My grandmother, mother, or whoever owned the property. Nothing wrong with that. But is it really about you really want to build a great legacy from your relatives that left your property? The right way to do it is exactly what he's doing. Improving the property, bringing it up to par for today's standards. Now, literally, this property will be owned in the family forever. And I mean, what a legacy to leave behind, right? Where every single month it produces income and your family property never goes out of the family.
My exit strategy is to die.
Right, to die with the property. No,
Exactly.
I mean, this is great because, I mean, we love that because now literally this property becomes the foundation, right? This one property can help you accumulate 10 to 12 properties, no questions asked.
257.
257 all day long,
Exactly.
right? Guys, a lot of gurus have theories. We have properties. If you want to learn how to do these and you want to really scale and grow, go to andrewholmesrealestate.com. Chuck, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For having
Appreciate
us
it.
over. I
Thank
think
you,
the
Mastery.
audience will get a lot out of it. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon.